What's up, guys? You're watching the Gregorio Girls channel. My name is Devin and I run this beauty channel with my sister Shauna. If you are not new and this is not your first time on our channel, welcome back. And if you are new, welcome. I hope you'll hit that subscribe button before you leave. But in all seriousness, guys, I just filmed a very long, in-depth, quite frankly, struggle for this video. So this video is a full face of Wet n Wild Beauty. So everything that I have on my face right now is from the brand Wet n Wild. So this box right here is chock full of goodies from Wet n Wild. It's not all from Ulta. I got some from the store, the Ulta store, some from Ulta online, and some from wetnwild.com, just kind of based on what I could find. So without further ado, I really don't want to make this intro long because I struggled. That's all I can say. You'll see. So if you would like to see how I got this look and my thoughts and opinions on all the products that I used in this video, please just keep on watching. Okay, so let's just go ahead and dive right into it. The first product that I have is this right here. This is from their Photo Focus complexion line. They have a whole bunch of things, and I actually have a whole bunch of products in here from that line for complexion, but this is their Dewy Primer. This primer has little golden, pearlescent, luminous, yeah, exactly that. That's what the finish is. And as soon as I tried this, it reminded me of a product that I had from Glam Glow that I actually got as in a little box with my birthday gift from Sephora last year. And immediately as I tried this primer, I was like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of that Glam Glow thing that I have. So I brought it down just for reference. Here's what it is. So it's the Glam Glow Glow Starter Mega Illuminating Moisturizer in Nude Glow, and it has that same again pearlescent luminous finish to it. So my first couple of times that I've used this, I actually really have liked it. I like how it feels almost again like this kind of moisturizer feel, and I do like the finish that it gives. So that was a long spiel, but that's the primer. Next up, we have foundation. So I'm sure it's going to come as no surprise, but I have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. So I have two of these here. One is in the shade Soft Ivory, which has it's light with warm undertones. And then this one is Light Beige, which is light medium with warm undertones. There are, I believe, a couple shades in between these two, but I have to mix these to get my color. But I did want to say, they don't have an extensive shade range, but there are some shades in between these two. These are just the only two that I have, so we're gonna mix them. So, okay. First thing off the bat, I've used this foundation before, and it's just, I've had a love-hate relationship with it. If you watch other Wet n Wild videos on YouTube, some of the big YouTubers, a lot of people love this foundation and swear by it as a drugstore foundation. Two things. One, if you've used this foundation before, you know, elephant in the room, it smells like straight up paint. So in terms of putting it on your face, I'm not sure how I feel about it, because as I sit here putting it on my face, but it's just kind of you know, what is it in the foundation that is making it smell like that? I don't know. And I've not done my research on the ingredients or anything, but that can be kind of a turn off. Yeah, this is definitely a little bit too light, but that's all right. Obviously, I would like to trust that you know, if I'm putting this on my face and a company is selling it, that it's good, but I don't know. That does make me, just the smell makes me question it a little bit. My second thing with this foundation, I've done a couple wear tests, and I don't know if it's the powders I'm using or what, but I've been feeling the finish has been it's been looking kind of grainy on my face throughout the day, and looking like there's makeup sitting on my skin as opposed to just blending in. And just for anyone that's wondering, I would say this is a medium coverage, and I would say it's a soft, it's not a dewy finish, but it's not really a totally matte finish either. It's kind of that satiny right in between if I had to categorize it. I do think it dries more on the matte side just from when I've worn it before. Next up, we have concealer. So this is the Instant Flawless Complexion Illuminati Highlighting and Concealing Pen, and this is in the shade Ivory Into You. Clever. I can't say I've ever used a concealer in this pen form. So you twist it up And I guess I can just paint it directly on my face. So, oh yeah, I see it coming through now. I don't know if you guys saw that. So let's blend this out with a damp beauty sponge and we'll kind of see what we get. And I feel like I'm starting to look really washed out. I'm not sure if that's my lighting or if I like did something funny with the camera or if it's the foundation because it's a little too light, but okay, let's talk about this concealer. It's okay, I'm not like woohoo, but I'll definitely have to revisit this one and touch base with you guys later about that. Next up, we have setting powder. So this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. Obviously the test with this is going to be, does it flash back or does it not? Now I know like this photo focus line from Wet n Wild is supposed to be exactly that. Like it's supposed to be camera friendly and like flash photography friendly. And I think actually, I think it might say on the back of this. Yeah, so the photo focus things were tested under 7 light conditions with the top smartphone models with and without flash. So everything that has photo focus on it, my understanding of it is that it's supposed to be okay in flash photography. But anyway, I'm just gonna take this on my like dry little beauty sponge. Okay, so my camera died. Yay. So I had to charge that for a little bit and I'm just gonna pick up where we left off. So after I am done baking, I like to use a colored powder, usually pressed, but like a colored powder of some sort to set the rest of my face and kind of like dust some of the translucent powder off just in case like, to me it just helps kind of get rid of like the whiteness that you can get of the powder on your face, and that's just like a technique that I like to use. So I did pick up the Wet n Wild pressed powder. This is in the shade Warm Light. This is also from the Photo Focus line. And basically I just took my brush, I dusted off the, got a little bit of this on there and I dusted off the translucent powder everywhere that I placed it, and then kind of set the rest of my face because there are a few spots like around the edges where I don't put the translucent powder. Now for this powder specifically, in terms of using it with a brush, I felt like I was really having to like dig into it. So I don't know that it added any coverage, but it definitely did help me kind of like wipe off my powder or whatever. So that's that. But now that we've done the powder, I do want to do a flash test. So I am going to get my phone. Yeah, guys, I don't know. I mean, I just took this picture, and again, it's probably hard to see, but you can see my setup in the background. So I was kind of standing in like dim light, and I look like I have a floating head. Like that looks like a lot of flashback to me. So I'm gonna have to play around with that a little bit. I don't know that this is like a true fair test, again, because like I had to mix colors and I feel like my face looks a little bit light in general right now, but that looks white. I still feel like I need to test that out a little bit. So maybe we'll do like a more in-depth wear test with this foundation and like complexion combination. So let me know if that's something that you guys would like to see. Now we're gonna move on. Okay. Whew, I am rambling today, but we are gonna get through it. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus 3-in-1 Primer Water in the Cucumber. I believe it also comes in Rose and Coconut. So super adorable packaging, and it matches my background. Just opening it, I mean, I could smell the cucumber without even spraying it. So if you're sensitive to smells, something to keep in mind. But I like the smell of cucumber, so it doesn't bother me that much. And I'm just going to give my face a good spritz. Ooh, yeah, you can definitely smell that cucumber. I actually do like the look of the foundation a little bit better now that I sprayed my face with that setting spray. So it definitely absorbs some of the powder and hydrates it up a little bit. So before the setting spray completely dries, I always like to go with my highlighter while the setting spray and like my skin is still a little bit wet. So this is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighter. This is in the shade Golden Flower Crown. This is not new. I've had this for about a year and I use it all the time. This has been my like daily highlighter for at least the last month. And as you can see, it is well loved. So I'm gonna take that on my Morphe M510. I just realized I got so excited about the highlight that I did not even contour, and I literally never highlight before I contour. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna contour. So this is the Wet n Wild, obviously this is a Wet n Wild video, Mega Glow contouring palette, and this is in the shade Dulce de Leche. I think I said that right. Dulce de Leche. It might be that. That might be the Spanish way to say it. I always go for Dolce, which I think is, I'm pretty sure is Italian. I am going to take that on my Morphe R10. And I feel like this product always gets overshadowed by like my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil and my Hoola, my Benefit Hoola bronzer. But whenever I break this out and use it, I'm always like, dang, why do I never use this? And then for my temples, just because it's like a bigger area, I like to use a slightly bigger brush. So I'm taking the Morphe R2, same thing. Moving on to blush, I'm really excited about this. I have not yet used this. This is the Color Icon Baked Blush, and this is in the shade Don't Flutter Yourself. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of that on my brush. Well, that actually looks pretty pigmented. And just apply it on the apples of my cheeks. It doesn't look like it's doing a lot. Let me get a little bit more. Sometimes this brush though, I feel like is not dense enough for blush. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. It's subtle. And you can see like when I turn my head to the side, like it blends in with my highlight, and it's just, it gives my whole cheek just like a nice glow, which I personally really like. So you won't like this if you don't like shimmery blushes, but if you do, I would definitely try this. It's giving me the same vibes as my MAC Extra Dimension blush, which I really like. I just love that like blend into the highlight there. Okay, time for brows. So this is the Ultimate Brow Micro Brow Pencil, and I got this in the shade Deep Brown. It's got that thin tip. It looks like it could be similar to NYX Micro Brow, which apparently it has the same name. But you know, Anastasia Brow Wiz, Benefit Precisely My Brow, I believe that one is. It's got a similar vibe here. And I don't feel like I'm working too hard to get the color to perform, so that's good. And it doesn't look too red, so here we go, you guys. We might have a new pencil. Okay, so brows are on, and I actually really like this. I like that it's a nice neutral brown. It's not black, but it's like a nice neutral brown. So I'm happy with this product so far. I'm definitely excited to use this a little bit more. And I found that it was easy to kind of like blend out and break apart with the spoolie too, which is also important for brow products, especially when you get in here. You don't want it to look like a block, you want it to blend out. So for eyeshadow primer today, I got the Wet n Wild eyeshadow. This is actually photo focus as well. So the photo focus eyeshadow primer. All right, camera died for the second time. Woohoo! So picking up where we left off, initially I feel like it looks a little bit like the Urban Decay Primer Potion, but it doesn't feel that way. It has a little bit more of like a, I don't want to say wet consistency, but like a tacky consistency, which I actually really like because I think that that will help the shadows grab on a little bit. So I don't know, this is my first time using this primer, so we'll see how it works. The eyeshadow palette that I'm going to be using today is one of their 10 pan eyeshadow palettes. This one is called Stop Playing It Safe. It has a little new sticker on it, so I guess it must be fairly new. They do have a bunch of these. I was gonna go for their neutral one that I see a lot of people using, but then I saw this and I was really drawn to the fact that like there's some brights and some neutrals in this. So yeah, I'm really excited to play around with this one. So, whew, okay, oh my goodness, you guys, let's talk about this. So I literally just filmed like a whole eyeshadow look, and I used like some of these, like I used this green and this blue, and I struggled with the shadows a little. Like some of them were good and some of them I struggled with, and I really didn't like the look. It kind of ended up just like looking like I had the Irish flag on my eye. Like if you look at my makeup wipe, because I just wiped it all off, like literally Irish flag colors. I didn't like it. I'm gonna start over and we're gonna go with some of the more neutral colors, and I'm gonna see if I like them better. The other thing was that that eyeshadow primer felt really dry on my eyelids, and I was having a hard time blending the eyeshadow, so I just wiped it all off. I cleaned everything back up with that concealer pen that I used earlier, and I'm gonna use that as a primer on my eyelids and see if I like that a little bit better, see if it's a little bit less dry. I'm going to take this powder to set the concealer that I just put on my eyes because there's not really a shade in this palette that like is the right color for me to set my eyelids. So I am first going to take this color right here and use that in my transition. Next, I'm gonna take this shade right here. It's just kind of like a pretty mauvey red, and I'm gonna use that in the outer third of my eyelid to start kind of building up some definition. And next, I'm just gonna take this brown shade right here on an even smaller little pencil brush. This is the Morphe E36, and I'm just gonna use that in the very, very outer corner to deepen it up just a little bit more. I honestly don't really feel like this color is doing a ton, but yeah, overall, I don't know. I feel like this palette has just been kind of inconsistent, and working with these colors has been a struggle for me. Alright, ladies and gents, I think I'm gonna stop with it there. Like, it really does not look great, especially not on this eye, but we're gonna move on. I'm gonna go for my highlighter because I tried using this shade when I did the look that I did before this one, and it just looked really orange and it wasn't very pigmented. So I'm just gonna spray a little bit of that. Spray that with a little bit of setting spray, and we're just gonna make this a nice gold. Like, yeah, see, just in comparison, like, I'm just a little disappointed, I guess. Okay, for the lower lash line, I'm just gonna use one color because I kind of just like don't feel like dealing with it at this point. So I'm just gonna take this red shade that we used earlier, and I'm going to blend that out on my lower lash line. So I have two mascaras from Wet n Wild here. This one is the Max Volume Plus mascara. The wand looks like this. So it's a plastic wand. It's kind of tapered, like pointed at the end. And then I have this Mega Slim Skinny mascara, which I really wanted to try for the lower lash line. Even though I am gonna put lashes on after this, I do want to give my lashes a nice, like, hefty coat. So here's the mascara up a little bit closer. I feel like my lashes look really just like kind of sparse and spidery. They're not really holding a curl, and I feel like the more if I were to try and build this up a little bit more, like, the more it would just clump. So that's that with that mascara. And then really quick, while we're zoomed in, let me just do the bottom mascara on this one eye. Yeah, this honestly feels a little bit dry to me, and this just kind of feels like clumpy. Okay guys, so here is the look with lashes. My glue is still drying a little bit, but I do feel like this helps kind of like amp up the look a little bit. We have two more products left in this review, and then we are done. I have the Wet n Wild Gel Lip Liner, and this is in the shade Bear to Comment. And then for lipstick, this is the Mega Last Liquid Catsuit liquid lipstick, and this is in the shade Give Me Mocha. But again, it's like a really pretty, almost like mauvey, deep, nudie color. I will say this lip combo, like, they are like dang near a perfect match for each other. So the lip liner I felt like glided on really smoothly. I didn't have to like really work it in order to get like a good color payoff. And then this liquid lipstick feels like feather light on my lips. It feels really, really comfortable. I feel like I could wear this all day, or like if I was going out or going to dinner, like I feel like I could wear this all night and it would be comfortable and it wouldn't be all over my face. So I'm really, really impressed with those two lip products. Whew. Okay. It's still with me? If you are a champion. Thank you for making it to this point in the video. So we are here with the final look, and like all things considered, I feel like it looks okay for the amount that I struggled. I talked a lot in this video and I kind of just want to wrap it up. Let's talk really quickly about the products that stood out the most for me from this haul. So the first one is definitely the Dewy Primer. I really like this. It felt really hydrating. I don't feel like the makeup is breaking up over top of it. So I really like this product, and I'm definitely like, I can see myself using this a lot. The next one is this blush. I really like the pigment. I really like the shimmer. I really like the color. I would definitely recommend this. And then the last thing is that lip combo. I know I just used it, so I was just talking about it, but they're a perfect match and they're really comfortable on my lips, but I do feel like it's matte and it's pigmented and it's a pretty, like, it's a true liquid lipstick. Now let's talk about my like definitely like girl no and my like not so much. So definitely girl no. First up is this eyeshadow palette. I just felt like it wasn't consistent. Like at first when I was putting the lighter shades on, I was like, you know, this is a great transition, they're really blending, but when I was trying to blend all the shadows together to get a cohesive look, I really struggled, you guys saw, and kind of just gave up at the end and used my highlighter to kind of finish off the look. So I feel like if you are going to purchase an eyeshadow palette, you need all of the shadows to work together so that you can do a look, right? Because most of the time you're not doing a look with one shadow. You can, but most of the time that's not what's happening if you're buying a palette. So that unfortunately was a no for me, but I do want to try out that palette that I keep talking about. That's another one of these, just to see if like the color scheme makes a difference. My second two like girl no products are these two mascaras. I did not like the way that this looked on my top lashes. I did not think it was volumizing at all, and I did not like the way that this looked on my bottom lashes. I feel like it was dry and it didn't even show up. So I'm not gonna say anything more about those. And then my last like not a good first impression, but like I'm not entirely sure yet, is this eyeshadow primer. I did have to stop my video right around the time that I was like using this, and then I was struggling with the eyeshadows and everything just looked dry. So I do want to give this a couple more chances because I have heard good things about it, and I'm wondering if it was just like maybe a combination of everything going on while I've been trying to film this video that it didn't really work for me. So I'm iffy about this. All right, I think I've done enough talking for tonight, and it is way past my bedtime, so it is time for Dev Gregs to go to bed. So thank you so much as always for watching this video, and I will catch you guys in the next Gregorio Girls video. Mwah. Bye.